Peterson-Tardif, and I teach at Parkland Middle School for aerospace technology. Before, I would plan out my lesson in pieces to keep the students engaged. I'd have my introduction, my mini lesson, and then I would probably have all of them go through several different activities. Mm-hmm. There might be a reading activity, there might be a computer activity, there might be a hands-on. Occasionally, it would be half the class, because I only have so many computers, so half of you will go here, the other half will be doing this at the at your desk, and then we'll switch. So that took a lot of time, but everybody got the same thing. That took a lot of planning to make sure that I had the timing right. You know, is this textbook thing going to take 20 minutes, but the computer takes 5? Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that that's timed out. Now with UDL, I'm still using those activities, and I'm adding other things to it and allowing the students to reflect and make a choice. So instead of me saying, you will all do the textbook and then you will all do a computer simulation, now you get to choose. Do you want to do the computer simulation? Is that something you think will help you understand this material better? Is it better for you to go to a textbook with all those text features that help us? They tell you with blueprint, with a glossary, with a picture, exactly what you need to know. Or do you want to do something on a computer, maybe it's a Jeopardy game, that'll maybe find those holes in your understanding. Today I also did some work where they had a handout. They were making flashcards. So I think that's the difference, is that instead of making everyone do everything, I'm giving them the choice to reflect and choose what they want. They all love it. Now we have to take baby steps. And so the first time I introduced this, I went around and explained each choice and also did some think alouds. Here's the textbook. Here's a paper that goes with the textbook. So we call it a text quest. So they're finding information in the textbook to help answer these questions or fill in a graphic organizer. And I'll tell them, for me, that's probably what I would choose because I like the text features and I'm a very linear person. I like to see things in order. We'll go to the video. Some of you love watching videos. The video might be good, but it might not answer all your questions, or it might go too fast. So we talk about the down, but the plus is there may be a caption, you can pause it, you can write notes. I give them a graphic organizer, a Cornell Notes, so that as they're watching, they're writing down some notes, so they're not just looking at it. And also timing. Some activities I found, I try to make them equal, but that's really difficult. So if we have more time, they can go to another one, but they have to realize that they may not be able to. So if they really want the video and they want the simulation, they're not probably going to be able to do both. Mm-hmm. So practicing that with them, the next time I offer choices like that, I'm seeing more of a variety of students at different areas. Some go to the same thing, but I'm seeing them trying different things. So I really think that the reflection piece is happening in their heads. Mm-hmm. I think the hardest part in offering choices, whether it's choices for learning, choices for assessment, is to make sure there's some equity. Mm-hmm. Is this assessment showing what they know and what I need to know what they know? And those choices, are they really doing that? Same thing with choices for learning or obtaining some knowledge. Is it hitting all the points? And that, I think, is the hardest, because it takes time. I have to plan that out. I have to try to find this material. You know, the textbook, yeah, that hits everything. Well, can I find a video that's going to hit everything? Can I find something on the computer that's a simulation that will hit everything? So that's the hardest part. And that will come with time. You know, something I'll come across something next year, oh, this is a perfect fit for this. So I think that's the hardest thing for me. I want it to be equal, and that's really hard. I try to offer things that are, if they want to make something, or they want to talk about it, or they want to write about it. So making something, they're drawing a diagram, but they have this, everyone has to answer that question. And so it may be more difficult to answer that question with a diagram than with a writing piece. So they really have to think, I love drawing and I can see this visual and I'm putting all the labels in it, but did they really answer the question? Some of them did great, some did not. They were great at making this wonderful diagram, which they can use to help study for a quiz. But I put on there, but did you answer the question? The writing piece, I had a summary in there, a 17-word summary, just to keep it brief. And that's really hard. You know, we all like to retell, but a summary is a brief statement. And I had one student choose that, and he realized that was really tough. But he did a great job, especially on the first time. So I didn't want them to just rewrite what they read in the textbook or they heard on the video. I want to know what they understand, and through a summary, that's a little bit easier to see what they know. The interview, where they just talk up to me, I usually give them a graphic organizer so that they can help organize their thoughts, and then they decide, okay, I want to say this first, this next. But I try not to do any prompts while they're talking to me. I am taking notes, and I'm writing down questions that I want to ask them, and probably if we were just having a conversation, I would ask them right then. So I just hold off on that to see maybe they're going to answer it later on. And then I go back and I answer those questions, and they'll go, oh, that's right, or it was a hole in their understanding. So I hadn't tried that before, and I usually do that with these were 7th and 8th graders. I think it's a little bit easier for them to talk. So it was interesting. I thought it worked pretty well. I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah.
I did usually like an end of unit kind of project. Some students just love those quizzes, and I know how to study for those, and they want that. So in another course, we offered a lot of choices. They could write a storybook. They could do a video. They could make a Prezi, an online presentation, you know, like a poster. They could do a poster. They could write a poem. They could write a song or a rap. A couple of them chose that. And they realized that would be fun, but it also was a little challenging at the same time. So those we used, and they had checklists, so to make sure that they had met all that. So by using a rubric, I think that helps in making sure as a teacher that that choice I'm giving has met all those points. And it also helps the students to understand, okay, if I meet all these, this is my criteria for success, I'm going to do well. We also add with some of those a creativity type of thing, so that helps them to go from a low B to a high B, a low A to a high B. But if they meet those requirements and they show their understanding, they can do well. I do a lot of discussion with it, and occasionally we'll have it written down. After that big project that they had to choose, we had a written reflection where the top they had to agree, strongly agree, disagree. And then they had to write what would they change about it. And at the very bottom, they had to put down the grade they got on that piece. And so it really made it connect. Well, I'm saying I love this, but I got a 75. So it made them really think, oh, wait a minute, maybe I need to make some changes. So I think they could love the activity, but that doesn't mean it's doing them any good. So you have to think about that. So usually we'll just do a plus delta just as a class discussion, or I'll tell them you need to think about it, and then occasionally we'll do a regular piece of paper, and that stays in their binder the rest of the quarter or the semester. And I'll say the next project, now at first I want you to go back and look at that reflection piece. I collect it, look at it, and then I give it back, just so that I know what they're thinking also. I don't grade it or touch it, it's theirs. So that they can, the next time, oh wait, that didn't work so well, or it really worked well, let me try that again.
So you're saying that even like with the project, you grade them and then they look at the grade and then they reflect about the whole process.
Correct.
To say, did I meet really the requirements? Even though I like this,
Yes.
but did I show what I know?
Did I show what I know, or did I learn something from it? And there's also a piece there, if I would choose again, what would I choose? So that they know, especially with a project, we all look at those projects and they might have seen something from another student that said, whoa, that was really good, and I can see how I would be able to do that, but I never thought about that choice before. So on this reflection sheet, they write down, next time I'd like to try that Prezi, that looked good. Or next time I'd really like to do a performance, because I could really write down everything I know and get it into there. So then the next time they're looking at that sheet.
What's your name?
Dexter.
Dexter. Hi, Dexter. Dexter, can you tell me what your choice was today for learning?
I chose to watch the video because I think it helps me personally as a learner, so I can see somewhat of a diagram and listen to what people are saying about what I'm learning, so I fully understand about the convection zone and how sunlight reaches the earth.
And how are you going to share your learning today?
I'm gonna talk to my teacher and tell her what I learned, and she's going to give me feedback just in case if I left anything out, and then I can put that in my notes to study.
And why did you make that choice to talk to her?
Because then I can receive the feedback immediately, and I don't have to wait an extra 2 or 3 days just to get what I need to learn for a test.
Okay. So you like having it sort of very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think about having choices available to you in a class? Are all, have you ever had a class when it wasn't like that? Or just what's the difference?
Well, it's easier because sometimes I might not be in the mood to do a lot of reading, so I might just want to listen to a video or someone speak. But sometimes I might get more out of reading a textbook than I would watching a 5-minute video. So it helps having different options.
So you might choose different things on different days, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
The one thing I notice is students are working with different students. If there was some activity that they could do together, it's not always with the best friend or the person at their seat. I want to do that. Oh, he's doing that too. Okay, I'll work with him. And I think that opened them up socially and academically, that they're learning from someone else that they may not have learned from before. So that was a little bit different. Also, the more I do the choices, the more students try different things. I don't get everyone doing the video or everyone doing the textbook. It moves around a lot more because they're seeing, oh, that worked well for them, I want to try that. So I do see that.